Hello and welcome to my channel. It's the Network Specialist. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Today I will be doing a recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 8. Okay? Everything I will discuss in this video is alleged and in my very own opinion, used for entertainment purposes only. Now let's get into it. But before I do, I want to say some hellos. Hey, Somali Queen, thank you so much for being here, beautiful. Hey, Mama Bees, my moderator, thank you so much for being here. And she has let me know that she can hear me. So let's go ahead and get started. And guys, I have been gone for a couple of days, just taking a little break and, just a little mental health break. I am good, good, good. So I am back. And before I get started, guys, I just also wanted to make an announcement that I will be adding a couple of shows to my roster. So if you guys have not heard of the show that's called Love Hotel, it's Bravo's Love Hotel, and that come on Sundays. And if you have Peacock, you're going to be able to watch it on Mondays. So that's going to be another show that I will be doing a recap of. So, guys, make sure you go and watch it. It just got started. The very first episode aired on Sunday. And whenever I do recap shows, I love to, recap brand new shows. Like, I don't want to start recapping a show that's been around for seasons. So, this is a brand new show. The first episode was on Sunday. So, guys, go watch the first episode and then you'll be caught up. And then the next episode will, be on next Sunday. And Somali Queen says breaks are good. Exactly. I take them on a regular basis. So if you've been following my channel, you already know this. Because I have a lot going on outside of YouTube as well. And Somali Queen also said, I have been unable to get into it. So, Somali Queen, you already watched the first episode of Love Hotel? Well, it's only been one episode, so sometimes it takes a little time. So just give it some time and we'll see what it's about. Now, if it's something that we don't vibe with, because I definitely listen to my audience, and if it's something that we just can't get into, we will move on to something else. There's always tons of content and things to talk about. She says, yes, she has. Okay, so we're still good because there's only been one episode. Okay, so let's get into this week's um episode of RHOA. So guys, while they were in Texas, is that where they're at? I believe they're in Texas. Um Shamia got a call that her daughter, Shiloh, wasn't feeling well. And guys, obviously she feels guilty about not being there, but technically she's at work. Okay, this is her job, you know. And I'm sure if her husband couldn't make a doctor's appointment or be there, for Shiloh while she's sick, because he was at work, that wouldn't be any big deal. So, I know some people are gonna be looking at it like, oh, her daughter's at home sick and she's on this show, but this is what they signed up for. So, you have to make the best of it and utilize this platform to market and promote all of your businesses. So that's what they signed up for. Nashville. There you go. So that's what, they're doing. Now, guys, I was a little annoyed by the fact that so much of Angela's conversation last episode, this episode is about Drew. It's like Drew this, Drew that, Drew. Like, girl, don't you have anything else to talk about? Like your family, your husband. But these last two episodes, all of Angela's conversation has been centered around Drew. And she wonders why she is now being targeted. Like she literally invited the birthday girls, Ops, on her birthday trip. And Mama B says her husband seemed great and able to handle the emergencies. Absolutely. Like she says, he is like the most, the best father in the world. Like he's really good with the kids. So she can actually be comfortable when she does have to leave her kids because they're in great hands. And then they have nurses, so they have a lot of help. They can afford the additional help, like most people can't afford. They can afford that. They can afford to pay people to be there to assist them with, their daughters, especially Shiloh that has all of the issues. And Somali Queen says they tried to bully Angela because she invited Drew. And she also said production wanted Drew there. Here's the thing, Somali. Um, because this is a show, they're all supposed to attend, but at the same time, this was Portia's birthday trip. Like she even invited her close friends that are not on the show. So I don't think that she can technically ask Drew to leave because it is a part of the show. But if I was Drew, I personally wouldn't have come, to be honest. And she says, Angela has carried this show on her back. She must be exhausted. I love the difference of opinion, Somali Queen, because I'm not a fan of Angela. But let's continue. A lot of people are, though. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people feel the same exact way that you do. And she also said production is paying for the trip, so it's not Portia's trip technically. That's why I said it's a part of the trip and she can't tell her to leave because she's not paying for it. That's why I put it all on Drew to say that if I were Drew, I would not have attended, knowing that there's a rift between me and Porsha. And she would not have been, I don't think that they would have made a big deal if she didn't come. And I don't think she would have been reprimanded for that. And it was really funny. It was a funny moment for me when Shamia told Portia that, because Portia was complaining about all the gaslighting and stuff that Angela does. So Shamia was just like, I'm just going to tell everybody no gaslighting today. Like, Shamia is so funny. Even when she's not trying to be funny, she just have a fun and funny personality. Like, I really love Shamia. So when Portia said that Angela was setting Drew up, I absolutely believe that Portia was onto something because she was talking about the way that, you know, um, Angela was talking about a situation that none of the girls knew nothing about. Like none of Portia's real friends that she invited to the birthday trip, they didn't know that her and Drew were in the midst of a beef. They had no idea because they're all cool with Drew. So what Portia was saying was when she brought that up and they didn't know it, it was almost like she was setting Drew up because now all the girls are feeling some kind of way because they're there to celebrate Portia's birthday. And now they just found out that Drew and Portia have a beef. So that's what Portia was saying. And Portia was actually taking up for Drew. And Angela was just making things really weird. And Somali Queen says, I hate that Shamia is a pick Misha this season. Um, I personally don't feel like Shamia is a pick Misha. And we're gonna come back to that conversation in just a moment when I get there. And I'm gonna tell you why, Somali Queen. And Mama B says Angela does not fit with those ladies. She seems to be in a different life category. They are young and fun. Yes, and she's coming off way too strong, and we'll get more into that. And it seems like Angela is just making her rounds, creating a beef with all of the ladies. Like girl, this is your first season. Pace yourself. Like, we're only in episode 8, and you've had a beef with almost all of the ladies. And I think that Kelly is next up on her list because I forget who she was talking to. She was telling somebody that Kelly was talking about her. And she was saying what made Kelly so comfortable to have that conversation with Brit. So I believe Kelly is her next target. Hey Annette, thank you so much for being here. And we know you're in the bushes, but we love you being here. So did y'all feel like Brit was being authentic when she had a vulnerable moment at the whiskey tasting? Remember, it was her, Cynthia, Drew, and Angela. So she brought up the fact that Angela didn't really have her back when they were at the peace brunch. And Somali Queen says she told Shamia. I'm kind of leaning towards yes, those were real emotions, only because of how she did lash out at the peace brunch on Angela. So I think that she was really feeling some kind of way when the ladies questioned the fact that Kenya wasn't at the peace brunch. But in their defense, when you hear peace brunch, the first thing that might come to your mind is that you're going to have the two ladies there that have an issue, and you're going to try to resolve the issues. So I totally get why the ladies thought that Kenya would be in attendance at the peace brunch, but obviously Britt thought that that was crazy that they even thought that Kenya would be there. And Somali Queen says you can't expect Kenya's friends to support you. So what most of the ladies have just pretty much put it out there to Brit is yes, what happened to you, it was a really bad situation, but Kenya is still also our friend. So we still feel some kind of way because, Kenya is our friend. So they still like Kenya as well. And she says she was. And she also said she was gloating. That's why they was pissed. I agree with some of the ladies when they said that she was acting entitled at the peace brunch. She was acting like, okay, somebody has offended me. Oh, it's me, me, me. It's all about me. Oh, I need you guys, to support me, to comfort me. I'm in distress. But they're looking at it like, okay, so is our friend Kenya. So they were kind of trying to stay neutral in the whole situation. Guys, I am loving Cynthia's vibe. She is fitting right in with these youngins. Unlike Angela, she doesn't seem to be taking anything too seriously, and she is enjoying the moment. Like, I am really loving Cynthia on the show because I feel like they need Cynthia. They need, you know, her to be the peacemaker. They need her to keep it classy so that this show doesn't turn into Zeus. So I feel like they really do need Cynthia. Okay. I feel like I am missing something. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm back, guys. I was missing something. I don't know how that happened. Okay. So when they started, all the ladies started coming down before dinner, and I think that some of them thought that they were going to free game and they were going to start having drinks. I think Cynthia was the first person to actually show up, and then Porsha came down and she walks in the room and she totally changes the whole vibe. And I knew then that some shit was getting ready to go down. Okay. I kind of got lost, guys. I'm not really sure what these comments are about. And Somali Queen says she ain't doing nothing and it's giving background singer at this point. Somali Queen, my goodness. We love Cynthia over here, okay? But you have the right to your opinion about Cynthia. I think she fits in well with the girls because a few of the girls already knew her before this season. Some of the girls are just getting to know her, but they are adjusting to her well. And Annette says, I'm not feeling none of the ladies at this point. Okay, that's cool. Because at this point, I'm just going to put it out there. My faves are obviously Shamia, Kelli, Cynthia. Who am I forgetting? Oh, and Drew. Drew is a new fave of mine, guys. So after, Porsha came down and she changed the mood, you know, of the dinner. By this time, they were sitting down having dinner, and everyone could see that Portia's energy was off and something was eating at Porsha. So Britt shared what she thought was a genuine moment with her and Angela when they were at the whiskey tasting, only for Angela to shut it down and say that she really didn't feel like what was it that she said? She didn't agree with something that Britt was saying. She was acting like she was so apologetic when they were at the whiskey tasting, but now that they're in front of all the ladies, now she kind of disagrees with Britt. So again, Angela seems very, very fake to me. Okay. And Somali Queen says the newbies, except for Angela, can go plus Cynthia. Okay. And she also said Porsha too can go. She ain't doing nothing. Mama B says I love Cynthia and Portia's scene. Girl, Mama B's like we are on the same page. I'm getting to that. I am so getting to that, Mama B's. Um, so Angela starts talking about accountability or whatever. And she then questions Porsha. She directs the question to Porsha. Now, this is Porsha's birthday trip. Who comes on somebody's birthday trip, whether production or Bravo, the network is paying for this trip? Who comes to somebody's birthday trip to ruin their time, to ruin their birthday trip? Like Angela was doing way too much. I already did not like Angela, but after this episode, I strongly do not like Angela. Okay. And then she threw Kelli up under the bus by saying that Kelli was the first person to ask Porsha about those infidelities and about her taking somebody's man, right? Knowing that her and Porsha have moved on, from that situation, and, Porsha and Kelli, they're cool now. So you're bringing up old stuff trying to cause problems. And Somali Queen says Brit is a low down, dirty 304. Her and Portia are competing for the 304 spot. Now that right there might have some truth to it, Somali Queen. Hey, Cece, thank you so much for being here. Hey, Paula, thank you so much for being here. And Somali Queen says, we'll get used to her, sis, because she's going to be permanent on the show. Brit? I hope not, because she gives me Zeus vibes and she seems to be bringing down the show. And So at this point, Angela was really giving me Cruella DeVille, and getting on my last damn nerves, okay? When Porsha told her to kiss her ass, I was thinking to myself, by the time somebody checked that B, because Angela was doing way too much. Angela said the rest of the world can kiss your ass, and Portia said you first. Like, oh my gosh, Portia was on it because, like, she knows that Angela was just really trying to steal her vibe and steal her energy from her own birthday party. And that's just how Portia felt, okay? And did y'all think it was strange that Shamia went to go and console Drew and not Portia? Now, this takes me back to what Mama B said. She said she loved the scene between Portia and Cynthia. Okay. So at first, I was thinking that that was a little strange, but then I thought about it and I said maybe it was because she knew that Drew was leaving and she wanted to say goodbye. They don't have an issue, you know, and she knew that Portia would be there, whatever the case may be. Or it could have been that maybe she didn't like the energy that Portia was giving off. And maybe she said, let me just give Portia some space. And I'm sorry, Shamir was probably thinking, I done left my sick baby at home for this shit. So maybe she just wasn't feeling Portia in that moment, especially since Portia didn't really want to talk about it. Everybody kept asking, Portia, what's wrong? Are you all right? She didn't want to talk about it. But I'm the type of person, like, if we have went out of town, we're on a vacation trip, whatever the case may be, if I'm not in good spirits, I'm probably just going to go to my room or whatever the case so that everybody else can continue to have a good time. But I'm not going to put a damper on the trip for everybody, even if it is my birthday. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't like the energy that Portia was bringing to the room. Okay. But I'm kind of glad that it was just Portia and Cynthia because of what Mama B said. Now, that was a real girls moment between Portia and Cynthia. Like Portia said, it just felt like home. And for me, that was a real moment between Portia and Cynthia. And like I said, this show needs Cynthia to set the standards and always keep it classy. Otherwise, I can see this show going Zeus. Okay. When Cynthia asked Portia if she wanted to pray before they went out there to join the rest of the girls, Portia said, I think you've been praying over that alcohol. That was funny as heck. So Portia said, let's go have a shot because it's shot o'clock and it's my birthday. You can't keep a birthday girl down for long. Portia didn't say that. That's what I'm saying, okay? And then there was the Girls Gone Wild, I meant to say pool party. Girls just want to have fun, and I'm here for it. It's called birthday behavior. So, whatever Portia was feeling, she snapped out of it and she decided to have a good time. Okay. Maybe having that conversation with Cynthia just kind of calmed her nerve and made her, you know, feel again like she was at home. So, she was okay. But what had happened was before Portia went out to have dinner with the ladies, she got a call from somebody that told her that Dennis and Drew were filming together. So she had, had the conversation with Dennis, and she told him that she didn't want him filming with Drew. And I believe he made her feel like they weren't going to be filming together. In all actuality, that's exactly what they were doing. So she was feeling some kind of way. Okay. So while they were enjoying themselves at the pool party, um, Angela was eavesdropping on the girls. And I just feel like if you didn't want to join them at the pool, you know what I'm saying? Like, why were you eavesdropping? You should have just If you didn't want anybody to talk about you, you should have went down to the pool. You could have sat off to yourself, but just your presence alone, would have kept the girls from talking about you. But you come on this trip, you invite somebody who was not invited, and then you want to act like the party pooper girl. Bye. Like, again, Angela is doing way too much. She started all this drama and now want to act surprised, that she's caught up in the drama. Like, girl, make it make sense. Recording people, like, I thought that's what the producers are for. You trying to get your own personal footage? Like Porsha said, girl, what are you going to do with it? And ain't nobody going to want to go anywhere with her because now they have to worry about her recording people for her own private stash. Now, did y'all hear Porsha when she said, I didn't say anything when they were asking her if she was talking about Angela and Charles? And Porsha specifically said, I didn't say anything. Now, I caught that. Okay. She was, going off the Henny. So basically, that's what she was saying. Instead of saying anything, she said anything. So I took that to mean that Portia was going off the Henny. Okay. So, nevertheless, Kelly confirmed that Portia did say that Angela better stop before I fuck her husband. So Portia absolutely said that she would do that with Angela's husband. Now, Portia, you already out here, like Somali Queen said, looking like a 304. Like, you really need to calm some of that down. Technically, you're still a married woman, and to even let that come out of your mouth, that you would do that with somebody's husband, that's very, very trashy of you, Portia. Now, I'm not going to drag you the way that some of these people are dragging you out here in these streets, but like, you're giving them the ammunition. Like, you're over here doing YouTube videos with your baby daddy all up in his face, putting on these provocative outfits, like you're trying to tempt him. Like, Portia, girl, I'm going to really need you to get it together. You have a daughter now, and you need to be a better example for your daughter instead of being out here looking like a 304 and going with the highest bidder. Okay. And Mama B says Portia was out of line for her comment about Angela's husband. Absolutely. That was so low down and so disgusting. And to say that in front of other married women, girl, please. Like, one of my story time, one of my past friends, we were really good friends. She mentioned to me that she was sleeping with another one of her really good friends, you know, ex or whatever the case may be. I don't know why women think that they can say these type of things and that you're not going to think that they won't do the same thing to you. Because if you'll do it to anybody, then you'll do it to me. So if you ever come out and tell me that you're sleeping with somebody's man, I'm just not going to trust you. I'm sorry. I'm just not. But guys, this episode, so I guess we'll see how all of this plays out on the next episode. But I really did enjoy this episode. And again, I'm really getting sick and tired of Angela, but at least, she is entertaining because she's crazy enough to start beef with all the other ladies. And I guess if she wasn't doing that, we would probably be bored because a lot of these women just don't have a storyline. Okay. So she's even helping Portia out because Portia is the main one that doesn't have a storyline, and she was the one that was supposed to carry this show. Okay. So Angela is actually helping Portia out. And on that note, guys, I'm going to end this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you did not like the video on the way in, please like the video on the way out. And if you just happen to be catching the drop down in the comment section so that we can keep this conversation going. Again, thank you so much for watching and bye for now. Thanks, Soundcheck Connect. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon.